We are live. We are talking touchdowns. I'm your host, Spread Astaire. My guy Tyler Hicks with me. Tyler, we just wrapped up an NBA show, but no rest for the wicked here as we attempt to break down this NFL slate. JC Zarger going to join us really soon. But before he does, Tyler, we got a win last night. But I'll tell you who's got to feel like they've got to win. The Tennessee Titans. Will Levis was slinging it, man. He's going to look good in that offense. If you have Derrick Henry in fantasy or best ball, you have to be happy. His arm strength's going to open up a lot for the Titans underneath. Steelers have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I can't wait to see Levis go against like a Raiders defense or a Giants defense, right? Or just a terrible defense. What did you think of the game last night, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he looked pretty decent. I thought some of those throws, excuse me, I thought some of those throws, he was lucky to get them off. Like the one screen to Derrick Henry that was broke for like 40 yards. Like he turned his body and Alex Highsmith wrapped his arms around him for the sack. And somehow he just flicked the ball out real quick and he still got it to Henry. So, I mean, he's done his couple of avoiding sacks, getting the balls out quicker. But I got to keep seeing it. They got to improve the offensive line. He did look pretty decent, though, but it was nice to get the win against him spread. We didn't get the defensive touchdown, but we did get that interception late.
JC, I thought Will Levis was real good, man. The way the ball came out of his hand, the Titans seem to have found their guy already. What did you think of the game last night?
I didn't watch it. I bet it and I forgot it, and that seems to be the way to go for me because I hit all my bets. But this game had zero intrigue for me, for being honest.
You didn't want to see Will Levis's debut.
It's not his debut.
What do you mean? It was his first time starting.
Okay, sure. No, I really, sorry. Yeah, I just didn't want to mislead the people. I'm just being honest here.
All right. Does not want to mislead the people. Any other general football thoughts before we dive right in?
I am not excited for this slate.
So, I think this is a pretty well-built slate for once. Like, you get the nice game in the morning. The 1 o'clock slate is pretty meh. You get the solid Dallas-Philly game in the 4 o'clock slot. And then you get the night game of Cincinnati-Buffalo. So I think they built the day pretty well. Looks like our guy JC's having a little technical difficulties.
Yeah, we'll bring him back. What's up to Sign Collectibles? My guy Clyde and DB Gnarly in the chat. Of course, we'll be talking about your Texans coming up soon. But let's start with that game in Frankfurt, Germany. Tyler, the Chiefs are -2. The total's 50.5. I would love the Chiefs here, but I don't like the spot as far as all that travel. Can the Dolphins finally get a win against a good team?
I don't like the travel aspect. I don't like the fact that Nick Bolton is still out, and I believe I'm pulling up the injury report. They were saying Willie Gay might miss this game too for the Chiefs. So it's like it's all lining up for the Dolphins to finally be able to pick up that win against an hobbled good team that because they haven't been able to beat teams with winning records. Their defense is also improving. Like they got Jalen Ramsey back. Xavier Howard came back. The safety Holland came back. Like they're going to be able to cover all these bad receivers for KC. And Jalen Ramsey might look around and realize that there's no receiver he's got to really worry about. He's probably just going to go drop into Kelsey's spot and cover him. So I still think it's going to be very hard for the Chiefs to move the ball and get anything going. I'm on Miami here. If they're going to do it, it's got to be right here. If they can't do it right here, I'm full fade season for the rest of the year. Maybe not as much weekly, but once the playoffs hit, I'll be fading the hell out of this team if they can't pick up this win right here.
I like the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs in the spot.
I just want to hear your reasoning, other than just Mahomes bounce back after a loss.
Better quarterback, better defense.
But your defense is missing key pieces.
Every defense is missing key pieces.
Not the Dolphins now.
But they weren't that good to begin with.
They added like 4 big names back. They had one of the best safeties in the game back to the defense. Ramsey's back. the second corner's back, which was playing the 1, which adding Ramsey back makes the number 2 and the number 3 better because now they're dropping back into their rightful spots. This team's coming together. If they're going to beat a winning team, it has to be right here.
Unfortunately, they're not going to. JC, tell me why I'm wrong.
For one, Chiefs just got to Germany. And the Dolphins been there all week. We've seen that all season.
Yeah, see, that was the other thing. I needed to figure that out. I didn't know when they got there. Now that I know that they got there late, yeah, lock it in. Dolphins win.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Now, the Dolphins got there so early they were able to have a fun day. You know, McDaniel wanted to make sure the boys had a good time in Germany.
You gotta
They
be
left.
kidding me.
Yeah, I think they left Sunday night.
All right, go ahead. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, so I got I went ahead and bet Miami money line and Miami first half. So for those that are kind of on the fence, I think first half is definitely the way to go in this one. Just because you got that piece of the travel, and it feels like it's going to be a close game. And if you think Miami's fraudulent, or if you think the Chiefs are just going to do what the Chiefs do, I think that's a really good way to bet it. You can still get the price is the same for the first half. So, because Miami does lose this game, they're going to blow a lead. Like, that's honestly how I see that going. So, I think first half's a great bet for those that are on the fence.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you guys are underlooking the most valuable position here in the sport.
All they got to do, I mean, we saw it last week, though. All you got to do is shut down Kelsey. If you make him throw to his other receivers, they can't catch.
He can be the best thrower of the ball, but yeah, if there's nobody to catch it, he can't throw it to himself. Tyreek Hill revenge spot against his old team too, and like,
you love it.
Like Mahomes is the guy. He is the quarterback. Tua's not the worst guy on the other side. Like, he can kind of match those stats. Like, it's not like Mahomes.
He can match them statistically, but he's not the same player.
Yeah, but I'm saying for one game, player A has more talent than player B, but player B has every better player at every position other than player A's team. I'm taking player B.
If this is like an AFC championship game, hard time betting on Miami. But being a regular season, I just feel everything is in Miami's favor for this one.
I wish I didn't have that travel disadvantage, and I wish this game wasn't in freaking Germany.
Oh, I mean, come on. It's a fantastic way to start your Sunday.
Is it? I'm going to have to listen to you two Yahoo's victory lap all Monday about Miami actually being good when, like you just mentioned, all this. They have all these advantages for them. And now
so then just get on our side so you don't have to deal with that.
What's up?
Just get on our side then. Bet Miami. Then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I can do that, but well, at least I'm not doing the show on Monday.
Mahomes interception, even money. With the jet lag, and then he's going to be forced to throw more. Yeah. And if you're missing, like Nick Bolton's already guaranteed out. That's your best linebacker. If Willie Gay misses too, and that's your second best linebacker, like now this defense that's been carrying them this season doesn't look all that good. And there's a very high-powered offense on the other side.
I don't like this at all. I still think the Chiefs find a way to win. You guys are just making too much.
I think they eat 2 losses in a row. They go into their bye week, and they come out of their bye week looking for a win.
All right, JC going against his favorite singer. I see how it goes. All right, anything more on the Dolphins and the Chiefs? Any props you guys are looking at? Anyone else want to dunk on me for liking the best quarterback in the game?
I mean, how often are we getting Tyreek Hill touchdown and win at plus 200?
I haven't. I'm pulling up. Go ahead, Tyler.
I was gonna say because they're plus 112 just to win, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say how often do we get Tyreek Hill touchdown and win plus 200?
Like that great of a. I agree. Right. That doesn't seem like that great of odds considering Miami money line is like plus 115.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready to move on to the next game?
How about? I got one for you. Same game parlay. This is what I did last night to really juice up the odds. Miami money line, Travis Kelce anytime TD, paying out almost 3-1.
There you go. All right. Well, I don't want to hear you guys crying Monday morning when you guys lose to Mahomes.
Oh, I'm going to be devastated.
Maybe if Kansas City wins, I'll jump on the show. We'll see how it goes. I have yet to decide yet. Let's see how Sunday goes. There's one other game that has a lot more to do with that than this one, though. We'll get to that one in the afternoon slate. The Minnesota Vikings are +4. They're in Atlanta taking on the Falcons. Total is 37.5. Both teams will be starting different quarterbacks, right? We're going to get, what's the kid's name out there? I picked him up in some stupid fantasy league.
Hall.
What's his name?
Hall.
Jaron Hall.
Jalen Hall. Jaron Hall.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. We got Jaron Hall on one side and Taylor Heineke on the other. Tyler, I don't see how we get involved in this game.
You don't. You just keep moving. We ain't betting this game.
All right. Anything from you on this game, JC? I think Tyler's right. I mean, projections aren't going to be helpful. I mean, if you watch a lot of college and you know these kids maybe here, but it feels like there's a lot of uncertainty in this one.
Yeah, no, for sure. These are two great teams that both don't have a quarterback. So it's maybe the under, but even still, I don't know. I don't want any part of that.
All right, Seattle Seahawks are +6. They're in Baltimore. They're taking on the Ravens. Total's 44. Tyler, we talked about this one yesterday. To me, this is Seahawks or pass. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Ravens like everyone else is. Like, I'm still not sure they're like one of the elite teams in the AFC. Like, their record says that they're first in their division. They're what, third in the AFC, I believe, like overall. Mm-hmm. But like, you just look at the teams they've beat. Like, they beat up the Browns when they had DTR at quarterback. They beat up Cincinnati when Burrow had one calf muscle. They lost to the Steelers and could only score 10 points. They beat up on Detroit outdoors in the rain. Like, all of their wins, you could sit there and be like, well, the other team was almost backed into a corner and Baltimore had all these advantages. Seattle, their team isn't much worse than Baltimore in my eyes. Like, yeah, Lamar's more talented as a runner than Geno. I'm not sure how much more talented he is as a thrower. Walker's going to be able to run the ball. Baltimore's pass defense was supposed to be what their best unit is. I mean, there's names back there, but I think DK, Lockett, and JSN can get open against these guys. I like the DK anytime touchdown at 2-1. I think that's a little overpriced for a guy we see get in the end zone a lot. And I think Seattle keeps this close and possibly wins it, so I'll be on the +6.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks as well. JC, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think it's a really interesting matchup. I think Baltimore is the Seattle of the AFC and vice versa. These are just two teams that play really well, but I don't know how they're going to fare against, top tier opponents. So I agree it'll probably be close. I could see this game going either way. If this was like, a 3-point spread, I wouldn't touch it. But I mean, getting Seattle 5.5, 6, I think that's a really solid play.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks +6 here as well.
Isn't there something like Lamar Jackson versus the NFC stat that everyone's going to hit us with?
Oh, yeah. But still, is that straight up or at the spread?
Straight up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
He's only lost once in like 15 games against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
If he ever makes the Super Bowl, watch out. The Arizona Cardinals are now +10. They're +10, Tyler. And Cleveland taking on the Browns. Total's 38.5. Okay, I know this is stupid, and I already know the answer. But I will tell you.
No. I know it. We've hit me with this for 3 weeks in a row with these bad quarterbacks. No.
What if Kyler's playing, though? What if I get 10 and then Kyler jumps in?
Are you sure Kyler's I'm not sure this is the Kyler that's going to be able to scramble and run around just yet. Like, his first game back. Is he going to look all that? Does he want to step back on the field in his first game against his Cleveland Browns defense that we've watched maul quarterbacks week after week? Probably let Clayton Tune go in there and get sacked about 8 times and come back next week.
Tyler, like the strict disciplinarian he is, not allowing me to have some fun and take the Cardinals plus 10. What do you think, JC?
I mean, this is definitely an intriguing one. I think you'd have to be a fool to take Cleveland minus 9.5. It's so many points. This is a Cleveland team that we've seen no consistency from. So even if it was Josh Dobbs under center, like, it would still be intriguing. Kyler is still questionable. Like, it's a possibility that he plays.
That's why I was saying about this splurging. I think you're lying.
I know, and I agree with Kyler, though, that this defense probably isn't where he wants to make his debut. But what do we even know about Clayton Tune?
I mean, he's born in Toontown. Big friend of Roger Rabbit.
Phenomenal.
I don't know.
Has he ever played a game?
Not in the NFL.
He's a rookie, right?
Is he? Yeah, he got 1 snap last week. Hey, never thrown an incompletion. 1 for 4 yards. So, whew.
All right. Perfect streak on the line.
Man, I'm tempted. You want to do it, spread? I'll do it if you do it.
Let's double back to this. Let's talk through the rest of the slate here.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just grasping at straws.
What was
Tyler?
Are the Cardinals just that high on Tune? Like, I thought that was a really weird move that they traded Dobbs.
I think that was always the plan. Remember, they wouldn't sell Dobbs' jersey in the team store, and he couldn't even make it on the custom thing. I think it was always, we don't want to start this kid for 6 weeks. Let's go out and get like a vet to play for a little bit. Use him for 6 weeks. Dump him for just a bag of chips, what they did to the Vikings. Like, even if Kirk Cousins doesn't get hurt, like, that dude probably gets dealt somewhere. Maybe he goes to the Jets and just backs up Wilson for the rest of the season for a 7th round pick. But they had no intentions of keeping him after 6 weeks. Like, it was let Kyler get off IR. He'll come back and take over. But it was the deadline's here. So it was like, you got to get rid of him. We could start this kid for 1 week in Kyler's spot, and then Kyler will play next week.
But so do you think they were that high on Tune or that low on Dobbs?
I think that was just, we need guys in there until Kyler gets here. And we didn't trust Tune to play 6 weeks in a row.
Okay. Weird.
All right.
Cardinals, what do you think about that? Here. Do you think that was their idea?
I have no idea.
I just think that was
okay. So first of all, when you judge an organization, right? You're like, oh, well, you're thinking about like, what would I do? Well, I certainly wanted to give Kyler Murray that huge extension.
Well, yeah. Now you're thinking too far back. And now you're going all the way back to the old regime. We're just talking.
My point is, this has been a terribly run organization. So I'm trying to guess what they're thinking.
Like from week 1 of this season, like with what you have, like, are you starting Clayton Tune for 6 weeks? Are you going out and getting a vet and waiting for Kyler Murray to come back and just cutting the vet after 6 weeks?
Okay, it's bold to keep calling Dobbs a veteran.
It's been in the league like 8 years.
I mean, I understand your point. I can't really argue with you. I'm just saying. I mean, who knows what Arizona's saying?
I feel like that was like the plan.
I mean, it's like as much as I want to talk crap about my Raiders, Arizona might be the worst run organization. That Kyler Murray, the extension was just so stupid. Just so dumb.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Twig says it's Clayton Tune season. The Los Angeles Rams +3. They're in Green Bay. They're taking on the Packers. Total 38.5. As of right now, Tyler, maybe Stafford gets in there. If Stafford plays, this is so easy to take the Rams. If he doesn't, I don't think we bet this game. But I want Stafford to be in there, and I want to bet the Rams. Your thoughts?
I probably stay away from this game, but if you force me to bet it, I'm probably on the other side. I don't think Stafford plays, and if he does, I don't really trust him outdoors in Lambeau with a hurt throwing hand.
You understand he played in Lambeau like a bunch of times in his career, right? This isn't going to throw him off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't do all that well outdoors in Lambeau.
Well,
so
look that up right now then.
He's already hurt. Their offensive line's pretty bad. It's an ugly game, though. if Jordan Love's going to play good again, like he did in the first couple weeks, it's got to be against a bad defense, and there's bad defense in front of him right now outside of Aaron Donald. So I don't see Aaron Donald being able to just dominate the game like Max Crosby did against the Packers. He just doesn't line up in the same spots. So I'm on the Packers here if I had to bet this game, but probably a stay away.
All right. He has a 7-13 record against the Packers, a 3-7 record in Lambeau.
Yeah.
He did put up 520 yards and 5 touchdowns in one game in 2011.
When was that? Like
2011.
Yeah, Megatron seasons.
Yep. All right. JC, what do you think, man? There's no way I'm taking the Packers with Jordan Love. Jordan Love sucks.
Yeah, I would say, I'm on the opposite side of Tyler here. I don't know if it's worth betting, but I think it's Rams or pass. This Green Bay team is so bad that even without Stafford, like, there's a good chance they can win or cover. I don't hate the idea. So Stafford's listed as a game time decision. I don't hate the idea of just taking the 3, and then if Stafford plays, it's like a guaranteed win. It's I don't know. I don't know if I want to wait because I'm worried about losing, the points, because I feel like 3 is the perfect number to grab it at, to be safe if Ripon plays, or just an easy win if Stafford plays. This is like a weird year backup quarterbacks though. Like we went from, it seemed like the same 5 guys were always backup quarterbacks to being guys we've never heard of now are getting starts.
I thought it was the easiest job in the world. You stand there with a clipboard and you get paid like $2-3 million a year, but I guess a lot of guys don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's funny, it's like seriously, I mean, what happened to it always being like Colt McCoy, Ryan Leaf?
Okay, Colt McCoy's like 37 years old. There's a reason he got cut.
Yeah, no, for sure. Josh Rosen, I mean,
he was bad.
Oh man, that another tremendous decision by the.
You guys are making me feel young here.
You know who I think should get a shot as a backup, but he's stuck as a third stringer? Mason Rudolph.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Why is that dude behind Mitch? Mitch can't even throw a football.
I know.
Mason Rudolph is terrible, Tyler.
At least he could throw the ball spread. Like he might be the white version of Jameis Winston and throw like 35 interceptions, but like he'll just huck the thing down the field and give the receivers a shot.
Now we're slandering Jameis.
Jameis.
Nothing similar between those two.
You know what I really want to see?
What?
I want to see Stinson Bennett play.
Bro, he's like in rehab right now after like a 2-month coke binge.
Yeah, he ain't even.
He's not anywhere getting close. Who's the backup that's going to play if Stafford doesn't play?
Goes down?
In there?
It's still Bennett.
Oh, Brett Rippon.
Yeah. Rippon is playing, but on the depth chart, Stenson's still listed as the third string.
Well.
I don't think he's like even with the team right now, though.
Yeah, I think he's in like rehab in Arizona.
No, yeah, that's what I'm seeing now. I thought he got cut. I was shocked to see him on the depth chart, but just aside from that, I'm just saying, like, we got to see him play at least one NFL game.
Okay. I don't know if we will.
It's just in the same vein of.
Why would you even want to see that? So wait, you didn't want to see Will Levis's debut, but you want to see freaking Stetson Bennett?
I'm just saying it'd be fun.
The whole chat is with me now. Finally, I've got the people to turn itchy to. They're on my side.
As of 2 days ago, McVay told reporters, it quotes, "I'm not ready to say that he won't be back with us at all this year, but it's probably less than likely that he would be. But Bennett is doing well."
Yeah, because when you're in rehab, you can't get any drugs.
Yeah. So you won't see him this year, JC, maybe next year. And he might be like my size.
Do you think that was like happened when he moved to LA, or do you think he had a coke problem in Georgia too?
I think it just went from being I'm the guy, now I'm in LA and I can get it just handed to.
Because I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe the coke was what made him so good in Georgia.
I don't think so. Probably the offensive line and the skill positions. Tyler, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are +3. They're in Houston. They're taking on the Texans. Total's 40, but Tyler, and I know we played this one earlier this week. I'm thinking about buying out, though. You know what my concern is? I think CJ Stroud's so much better at home. Do you think we kind of overlooked that here when we played the Buccaneers? Talk to me about this game, Tyler.
I mean, I still think Tampa's not they're not good, but they're not one of these bottom dwellers. Like when I look at them in Houston, like neither of these teams are bottom dwellers. They're both like somewhat middle of the pack, but not forcing their way to the playoff pictures. The teams Tampa loses to are really good teams outside of the Bills. Like, they lost to the Bills, which is just like a semi-good team right now, dealing with a lot of injuries. A fully healthy Bills team runs them off the field. The Eagles ran them off the field. Like, the teams that beat this team, or the teams in the playoffs, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, that was the game where, what was it? They fumbled the ball within the 10-yard line twice.
Yeah.
So they should have won that game. They just couldn't get the points on the board.
No, Atlanta fumbled on the 1-yard line.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. You have a hiccup game. Wasn't that one on the road?
No, it was.
No, that was in Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, Baker that game.
Fair enough.
So he got that out of his way.
We can always throw out divisional games.
Yeah, he got that out of his way. Now it's Houston. Damian Pierce is probably out too, so I don't trust Devin Singletary to be able to run the ball. Tampa's defense still.
Damian Pierce out for sure.
Yeah, it's not the best. Tampa's unit's not the best, but they still have some solid pieces there. I expect Vita Vea to be back to jam the run that they do try and run up the middle, and he should also be able to get in there and disrupt Stroud. I don't think he'll have a lot of time to throw. I'm on Tampa here. Give me the better weapons. I think Baker can get the job done.
JC, your thoughts here on this Tampa Bay Bucs play?
I go back and forth. I really have no play here. I think, Tampa looked great. They've gone downhill. Tyler made valid points about the teams they've lost to, but I just can't bring myself to bet it either way.
All right. So we're not buying out, Tyler. We're going to keep riding these Bucs.
I'm staying on the Bucs.
Deal. Washington Commanders are +3. We talked about this one yesterday, Tyler. How are the Patriots favored over anyone? Like, I understand they're at home, and I understand they have a coaching edge, but that's about it. Total's 41.
I mean, Washington lost their two best defensive players.
It's just a no bet.
Well, who cares? Okay, first of all, Chase Young's not that good. Chase Young has like 5 sacks in 3 years. Like, you can't replace that production. So they lost one good defensive player and one player that has a lot of potential.
I also think
anything.
Yeah, I think that win over Buffalo kind of bumped up New England's stock. Because I agree, I was kind of shocked to see New England as a 3-point favorite in this one.
Will this surprise you?
Maybe
Will this surprise you though, JC? If 10 minutes into the game it's 10-0 New England because they drove down, kicked the field goal, and then Sam Howell turned over the ball quickly?
Not at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is we've been saying that for weeks about New England, right? Like ever since Dallas, like, oh, look out for New England, like turnaround spot here, and it's like, nope, New England.
I don't think they turn it around, but they are gonna.
Whatever.
They're gonna disrupt a couple teams. This is the perfect game where they just disrupt things and everyone tries to back the young quarterback. He makes some early mistakes that cost the game in the end. I'm just staying away from the game as a whole.
Okay, good. I was gonna say but still, ultimately, would you be that surprised that it's 10-0 Washington at halftime?
I think that's more likely.
Yeah, because also too we'll get to it when we talk about your team spread, but just the whole next man up thing, you never know. Like this defense could wreck New England, with those new guys coming into the starting lineup. I got no interest in this game because both teams have demonstrated how horrible they can be.
The Chicago Bears are +9. They're in New Orleans taking on the Saints. Our guy Keg's got a good point here on this game. Kamara, ultimate receptions right back to the well. 8+ is +1025. 9+ is +1550. He's 1550. This is insane when he's caught 13 balls twice this year. So Kegg's on the Kamara over on the receptions. Tyler, your thoughts here when the Saints host the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, I think the Saints win the game. I don't want to lay that many points with Derek Carr in this offense when they can't put up points. It was a perfect teaser spot early in the week. You were able to knock them and the Browns down to pretty much pick 'ems or get them under a field goal. So that was the route there. I don't think there's another leg you could really do that with this week now, is there? Now that the Browns game is gone.
Yeah, both of them are gone.
Yeah, so you can't do much with either of those. So I think the only way I'd approach this game is through the props Keg talked about, and maybe a Kamara touchdown and win, a Olave touchdown and win, some route like that.
JC, I like the over here. Tyler didn't like it. What are your thoughts?
I don't hate it. At 41, that's a pretty decent number. I don't think I can get there, though, just knowing there's a chance.
How many of those things got to give you?
Right. Well, how many is Chicago going to give you?
Well, that's the thing is that Chicago might not give you 10.
13.
So.
Right. So then you need 32 out of New Orleans. I don't know about that. What I was going to say, though, is more so than Kamara props, I'd rather probably take Carr over 250 passing yards, over 22.5 completions, just because Carr's been throwing so many checkdowns, and that's why Kamara is racking up these carries or receptions. But playing Chicago, much more secondary, maybe Carr finally has the stones to take the top off the defense, throw the deep ball a little bit more. So either way, he's going to get the yards, whether Kamara just runs over the Bears defense or he airs it out. So that would just be my take on that. But I agree, 8.5. I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, but at 8.5, you can still tease it. I have 9.
8.5. It's just too many points because New Orleans hasn't been consistent enough for us to have faith in them demolishing the Bears.
Yeah, I like taking the points there. I'm fine staying away. I like the over. Tyler says stay away. Keg says don't worry about who wins. Don't worry about who covers. Just take Alvin Kamara to rack up the receptions. The Indianapolis Colts are -2. They're in Carolina. They're taking on the Panthers. That's right. Frank Reich goes against his former team. Total here is 44. Tyler, how do we approach this potential revenge game?
Yeah, I mean, it's an ugly game. I don't even think I want to bet this one spread.
JC, Tyler, after that riveting breakdown, would you have anything to add, or did he just sum it up?
No. Colts are one of my favorite bets this week.
All right, let's hear why.
Because they're playing Carolina. The Colts can put up points. We know that. But the problem is their defense isn't great. They get into shootouts. You're not going to get in a shootout with the Panthers. So to win by a field goal, I think that's easy money. I have absolute faith in this Colts to get the job done. I don't care. Doesn't matter who's starting. So often that's what you got to look at with this Colts team. Seeing them in Carolina -2.5, I said, that's all I need to know.
What do you think, Tyler? JC's doesn't think that the Panthers can win 2 in a row after their riveting victory over the Texans last week.
Yeah, it's just another game with bad teams and bad quarterback overall play. So
I don't think the Colts are that bad, though.
I don't think they're good. My rule in the NFL is I'm going to target if I'm betting a team. I want my quarterback to be somewhat decent. I know Gardner Minshew can have games where he throws 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But we've also watched this dude turn around, throw 4 picks. So it's
But you can throw 4 picks against the Panthers, and they're not going to do anything with it.
I mean, they beat Houston on a field goal last week, so.
But that's against Houston.
And the Colts are that much better than Houston?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So my role in the NFL is these bad quarterbacks, I just avoid them at all costs. I don't want anything to do with their games.
I mean, I think that's our separator.
I know that limits me to 3 games a week, 6 teams to bet, but I feel like that's a very like safe way to approach this league.
No, yeah. I think where we separate here is just that I think Minshew's a good quarterback. I don't disagree with anything else we're saying. Spread, where are you at on this one?
Colts are pass, but I think I'm fine passing. I don't know. You kind of made some good points. What do we have here on our projections, Tyler? Let me pull that up right now. Why do I have the Panthers winning? My numbers suck. I got to redo my whole model. All right, let's move on. I hope you join me here, JC, because Tyler, I'm beginning to think he's a socialist. I'm beginning to think he doesn't like money, because we have the best bet on the board this week. Josh McDaniels is gone. Antonio Pierce has arrived. That's right. A former linebacker. Awesome. Grew up in Compton. Awesome. Playing NWA at practice yesterday. This line should be -10. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders. JC, are you willing to join me? Do you want to pledge for America, for capitalism, for doing the most that you can and taking advantage of these golden opportunities that the land of opportunity America has provided us?
Yeah, I mean, this is perfect. This is the perfect bet. They're at home and they're playing a crappy team. Like, I would love to know the record of teams when there's
The
like
new coach bump is real.
Yeah, it's so real. Like, they could lose every other game this season, but they almost always win that first game as long as you're not going up against, even if you are going up against the Chiefs, you still got to give them a look. It's like when who did Jeff Saturday beat in his first game?
The Raiders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it's so you get that bump, and then you get the fact that you're playing at home against the Giants. Yeah. Perfect opportunity here.
Clip it. Get ready to play this Monday when they fucking lose outright, and everyone's like, how the hell did they lose the game to the Giants? It's because they fucking suck.
Oh, and the Giants are so great.
JC, what did I finish that last game breakdown with? I don't like betting on shitty quarterbacks, and now we're gonna bet some pudgy kid named Aiden O'Connell.
Oh,
yeah, out of Purdue.
Oh.
Yeah. What are we
Hoyer's
doing?
out.
What's up?
Hoyer's out.
Aiden O'Connell's the new starter in Las Vegas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I'm still riding because I'm a big believer in next man up in the NFL. It's kind of like Badgett in Chicago. You get one game.
Yeah, I'm not saying we bet the Raiders to go undefeated the rest of the year. We get one bump this week. Everybody's so happy.
No, that's got to be just. I mean, the things we've heard over the years about McDaniels and all the other places he's been. Like, this is. I mean, anyone who's had a crappy boss get fired. It's
yes, everybody knows.
Yeah, it's so tremendous. And then eventually you realize the work environment's still pretty crappy, but you can ride that high of your boss getting fired.
Throw all that out the window for a minute.
Okay.
You're going to bet a pocket passing quarterback who can't scramble versus one of the blitz heaviest defenses in the league.
You just got to be quick.
Yeah, we'll just run check.
Also, that team is getting back their starting quarterback this week.
Oh, Daniel Jones. I thought you said you wouldn't want to support bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, when he said he didn't want to support crappy quarterbacks, I thought he was going to talk about.
I mean, it's better than fucking Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor and Aiden O'Connell and Brian Hoyer.
No, Aiden O'Connell's going to rise above the rest this week, Tyler.
Just while you're in Vegas and you're sweating that game out spread, just head to the bar, get a couple extra drinks.
Sweating it out?
You're going to need them.
What do you mean?
You're going to need them.
When I'm cashing that ticket? This is the easiest money, Tyler. This team's going to be so fired up. I can't believe you're leaving this easy money on the table. JC, any more thoughts? Do you have? I've been trying to convince them all week. Can you make one last impassioned plea for Tyler to join us on this winning train?
Okay. Are you going to bet the Giants sometime?
No.
Because he knows we're the right side.
Yeah. I think that it's Giants or pass for me, though. I I've
How?
sat here and
You
tried to bet.
can't be this passionate.
I've sat here year after year and been like, oh, this is the spot where the Raiders can't lose. They go and fucking lose. This team sucks.
You can't be this passionate against the Raiders and not even bet the Giants.
I'll bet the Giants out of spite, so somebody's
Do
got
it.
to.
Yeah, go ahead. Spite
Do
me.
Yeah,
Spite
I'll bet the Giants. You can bet the Raiders. Someone's got to win.
Spread. I just locked in Raiders money line.
Bro, this is Tyler just made this so easy for us.
Are you gonna
All
grab
right.
an all spread?
Yeah, it
Who,
should be
me?
like -10.
No, seriously though. Are you really gonna do -10?
I don't have that on Bookmaker.
You want to know what
The
the
most
odds
I
are?
can saw it is like -3.
When he tried to click -10 on the Raiders alt spread, the 1-800 number popped up.
No.
Are you
Merrill
going to
Lynch
Vegas this
popped
weekend,
up
Fred?
and said, "Yeah, I'll be in Vegas." That's why I might not be there on Monday for our show. It might just be you two on Monday.
Vegas.
I haven't decided yet.
-9.5 is 3 to 1.
If I absolutely crush this weekend, I'll jump on with you guys on Monday. Otherwise, I'll probably just be out having fun.
So if the Chiefs lose and the Raiders lose, we won't be seeing you.
So the Raiders is like way higher in that pie chart. If the Raiders lose, there's no chance of you seeing me. None. If they win, it's more than 50%.
Spread.
Chiefs is like 5% in this issue.
This is huge because if I lose 2 bets this season, because you convinced me to bet the Raiders, where it's gonna be very
What?
damaging to our friendship.
What do you mean? I joined you as a Swiftie, and now you're going to turn on me? I think
think
there's
you-
a song. I
Have
think there's a
I
Taylor Swift
lost
song
you
that I
money?
could go listen to that's
Have I
going to
lost you
embody the
money?
betrayal that I feel right now, JC.
There's only
Wow.
betrayal if the Giants win.
The fact that you even consider turning on me. Wow. Let me go bump some 1989. Which one is the good one for betrayal? Which
The
should I be
whole
listening
Reputation
to?
album.
Reputation is what I'm listening to right now as you betrayed me. All right, let's move on. Raiders, easiest bet on the board. I hope you guys join me. Don't miss out on the free money train. The Dallas Cowboys are +3 in Philadelphia, taking on the Eagles. I already know where Tyler is on this, so JC, I'll start with you.
No, I'm going first just because I think it's absolutely
Oh, wow.
hilarious that he goes Raiders easiest money on the board. Let's go into the actual easiest money on the board game. The Dallas playing Philly in Philly when we know Philly's offensive line is just going to push them backwards and dominate them in this game and neutralize their defense. Win the game by probably 10 points. Turn Dak over once or twice. It's just going to be Philly romps them here. This -3, it's just too easy for Philly. They smash.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. Simply due to what we've seen from Dallas, they just beat crappy teams. Philly at home.
It's just
such great history, though.
Yeah, and I read a stat. It said, well, it touched back to the San Fran game for Dallas. I know San Fran played pretty much the perfect game, but their offensive line, when they had Trent Williams in that game, ranked, I believe it was, second, only behind a fully healthy Eagles line. What do we think these tackles are going to do against Michael Parsons? I don't think these guys are getting back there. I think Hurts and these guys are going to have all day. These corners for the Cowboys are going to be in trouble with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, the Eagles are going to win this one handedly.
Yeah. And no one has to overthink the spread. The last 10 times these teams have played, whoever won straight up covered as well. Last season, it was just a home team, won and covered. So Dallas has played very well against Philly historically in recent years, but I agree. Pretty easy slot here to just take that -3.
Tyler, side bet. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
The Raiders' margin of victory will be greater than the Eagles' margin of victory.
I'll take that bet.
All right, we're betting that.
I hope the Eagles are sitting on like a 40-3 lead, like going into like the fourth, and like the Raiders are like shutting them out like 20-0. It's like, haha, you can't win.
All right, tell us what you think of our. Tell us what you think there. Hey, so do you know who that is? I want that cat. Do you know who that is, Tyler?
No,
It's our guy Robert.
that's our guy Rob.
Yeah, he changed. So you remember he says he had a new name there for like 2 years. Now he's
Yeah, and they changed it again.
Yeah. I didn't realize he's been. I was like, how come Robert doesn't like us anymore? But now he's here with us. Tyler, JC, who's gonna win our margin of victory bet?
That's a really tough one. I think that's a really good bet because it's probably Tyler. Because I think the Raiders are going to win. Like they could easily win like
20-13.
14-3.
Yeah.
Like it's still going to be an under game, whereas this game will probably still be a bit of a shootout. But I could see Philly winning like 42-28.
It's a fun bet, right? Because technically you'd say he has a little bit of an edge, right? Because he does have a big edge. Because not only is he favored by more, he's favored by more in a game with a higher total.
Spread. What do you think of the under 37.5 in the Raiders-Giants game?
It's so crazy because my first thoughts are like over, but then look at last night, like 2016.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I'm assuming you like the under.
The more I think about it, I don't know, because again, like I really do believe in that bump. So they could easily, if they win like 28.
I would take the over. Well, I'm not going to take the under with two bottom 10 defenses.
Yeah, we also got 2 bottom 10 quarterbacks. Yeah, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Sorry for even bringing it up.
I have the game at 40. So over for me.
I got 37.5.
No, I'm talking about on our projections.
I
have it 21-19.
Okay.
In favor of the Raiders.
We'll see what happens when the 1 o'clock slate's over. I might lock in the over before kickoff.
In the evening, Tyler, the Cincinnati Bengals will host the Buffalo Bills. The total's 50.5. These teams, two teams last met in last year's playoffs were expected to be a shootout. Was a domination by the Bengals. Can the Bills get revenge?
Yeah, Bengals easy here. The Bills defense being banged up. You've seen it over the last couple weeks. Even weaker teams are able to move the ball against them. They lost in the New England game. If Chris Godwin could have located that ball in the Hail Mary, we'd have been talking about a whole different spread right here because they'd have got upset by Tampa Bay on the last play of the game. The spread would have probably been like 4.5, 5 points. Now we get it under a field goal. We got the 2.5 locked in from earlier in the week. I believe the line's still right around that. The Bengals are going to be able to move the ball any way they want. Joe Burrow's healthier now. Their defense is playing well, and the Bills are going in the other direction. Josh Allen's dealing with a shoulder injury too. I think the Bengals are just a better overall team. I'm on the Bengals here. I think they win this game by about a touchdown.
Same thing as in my Chiefs game, JC. I got the better QB, and I got the better defense. People are going to argue about that better QB. I'm not. I'm planting my flag. Burrow's better than Josh Allen, especially a hurt Josh Allen.
I got a question for you, JC, just because you made that face. Where's Josh Allen rank just in the AFC in quarterbacks?
So funny you should ask that, Tyler, because Spread and I were supposed to do a quarterback ranking.
Oh, yeah, we still have to do a quarterback ranking show.
I literally have power ranking of quarterbacks. Okay, at the time I had him 2 a couple weeks ago. I don't know. What are we talking about? Are we talking about right now?
Just like just rank your guys. Like how if you were like the best quarterbacks
just
in the
for
AFC,
this season though,
these are my
doesn't
guys.
matter. Just for this season though, so right?
Yeah, you could just go off of this season because
so you can't say like, oh,
I'd rather have off the top of my head, he's not top 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4.
All right, who's ahead of him? When you
Mahomes,
say 2, I'm gonna throw up.
If we're talking
Mahomes,
this year,
Burrow, and Tua.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
If you put Josh Allen in that offense, they would average like 67 points per game.
Okay, but
that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about
this year.
No, we're talking about who's the better quarterback.
We said this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on the game,
still better.
He ain't playing in that system this year, so he ain't the better quarterback this year.
Yes, he is. He's so much better.
Too, what we've
if
seen
you put
this
Tua
season,
on the Bills, they're like 6 and 11.
What we've seen this season, Tua is a smarter quarterback. He's making smarter throws, better reads than Allen has been.
I think Trevor Lawrence.
He's smarter because he throws it to someone who's 5 yards wide open.
Okay, we don't have time for this. We don't have time to get into what a what a Tua hater you are, and what a stud quarterback he is, and what little credit he receives just because he has incredible weapons.
Because he would suck on almost every other team.
It's not true.
Put him on the Texans.
Okay, well, no one's going to succeed on the Texans because you can't throw the football when you're on your
CJ
back.
Stroud's better than Tua.
Oh my gosh, Spread, get out of here.
I might have exaggerated there a bit.
Yeah, you think?
But he is. Okay, I'm sorry. What were we talking? We're talking about the Bengals and the Bills.
We're talking about Josh Allen
and
and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's better than Josh Allen.
I had no clue where you were going to go there when you said you're taking the better quarterback, though, because I just never know what's going to come out of your mouth.
All right, I'm sorry. Our whole breakdown screwed. What are we doing now? Have I given my pick yet? I'm on the Bengals. Minus 2.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. What's your thoughts, JC?
Yeah, no, I do agree because I agree Joe Burrow's a better quarterback. Right now, he's playing like a better quarterback. Cincinnati's caught fire. They're the team we expected him to be this season. And Buffalo's just looked flat. They haven't looked good. Big spot here.
I mean, Matt Milano's kind of having a TJ Watt effect on his defense.
Yeah.
Right? You know how like Pittsburgh's defense just sucks when TJ Watt's gone?
Yeah.
I mean, Milano is a guy that like I barely knew his name before the season. And now he's like up there like an MVP just because it's how far this team's regressed without him.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how the narrative in the AFC changes when Cincinnati wins this game. Especially if the Dolphins beat the Chiefs. Like, wow.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
Because like how much of a drop are the Bills going to take? And like, you know, in people's power rankings when you're watching, you know, your favorite sports show, like what people are going to be shambles.
They ain't going to fall that far because people slob Josh Allen.
But now you got to rank. If the Ravens win, the Bengals win, and the Dolphins win, are those the top 3 teams in the AFC now?
Probably,
but I
no, the Chiefs will still be in there no matter what.
You'll still watch people rank the Bills above the Dolphins because they beat them. Like they
didn't beat them; they spanked them.
Yeah, you'll still have that. Like, but I think the Dolphins are better than the Bills.
I think the Bills are better than the Dolphins.
Not as of right now.
Interesting.
They play each other Sunday. I'm on the Dolphins with all those injuries to that defense.
The Bills will be 5-4 if they lose.
What'd you say?
Huh?
I guess Tyler's got a point. That Milano injury happened after the Dolphins game.
Yeah. No, for sure. But I'm just saying the Bills will be 5-4 if they lose.
Okay.
And then the Dolphins and Ravens would be atop the AFC at 7-2.
The Ravens are frauds.
We'll find out.
Well,
frauds. I think fraud is too strong of a word.
Pardon?
I think fraud is too strong of a word for the
Ravens. No running back playing quarterback winning a Super Bowl.
Bro, he's like throwing left and right.
What if he stays healthy? What if he stays healthy?
Just no. It's not happening.
This is all I've heard from Tyler all day. Freaking Nancy Reagan over here.
Just this, like, think
Tyler,
about it.
Let me bet all these underdogs in the NBA. No.
He stays
let me
healthy.
Bet these money spots. No.
He stays healthy. They go into the playoffs. There's at least going to be one game where it's either going to be Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, maybe Tua, maybe Josh Allen. But there's going to be a game in the playoffs where everything else is neutralized. And it's like, all right, it's you versus him. Which one of you guys is going to will a team to a victory? I'm probably taking all those guys over Lamar.
I'm taking Lamar over Tua. You're tripping. And another one. Put Lamar in that freaking Miami offense.
He was supposed to be in that offense, and then Tua came back to life.
It's true. As was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
As was Tom Brady.
Oh, my God. That would have been so bad.
Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Brady would have done
Lamar Jackson in Miami would have been the cheat code, but
that would have been fun.
I don't know. I don't know if he has the arm for that.
He could throw deep balls well. Yeah, it's everything underneath he can't throw.
Did you just mute spread? I love it, Tyler.
No, I think he did that on his own. I don't even think he knows he did that.
He
probably broke his mic screaming. Look at him. Look at him.
It did. I think it unplugged his headphones when
he can't get it to
jolted.
work. It won't work.
Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
Oh, his mic, bro.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hear you.
We heard, what are you talking? That's what we heard.
Because it's so ridiculous. You think that Tua has a better arm than Lamar Jackson?
I think a more accurate one. Dude, the way he drops in those passes for Tyreek, not just anyone can do that. He's not like last season, like early last season, there were some throws where it's like,
bro,
okay,
he's
yeah,
thrown to like Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar.
The way I put these quarterbacks is like 5 to 10 yards to 15 yards down the field. Give me Tua. Tua has a nice long ball. I will give him that. I'm not discrediting that, but I'm taking Lamar with the deep ball.
I would agree Lamar can throw it further, but if it's like a 30, 40-yard pass and you need it in a bucket, I'm taking Tua.
I can't believe this. I mean, I should believe it.
Tyler, who are you on in this Buffalo Cincy game?
I'm on Cincy. I mean, I already get.
Yeah, are you on Cincy with us, right? Right, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm a little nervous about. No, not even. These are both guys that the Sunday night spot shouldn't affect them one bit.
The total's 50.5. I kind of like the under. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. It just locked for me. Is there some news breaking?
Nothing locked for me.
Well, your books in Jamaica,
Costa Rica,
same thing. I really just drew out an island. I didn't know it actually was. That's fine.
All right, guys. Anything else on that final game before I move on to the best bets?
Nah, I mean, I think we touched on everything.
All right.
Did you want to ask? Are you gonna make I Want That Cat playback, or he had a question about the Bucks game?
We already talked about it. We like the Buccaneers.
I know. I think you just joined late, so I don't know if you're gonna make him play back or if you just.
Yeah, he's got to play back.
Okay.
I mean, you think that Dameon Pierce matters? I don't really think it matters that much. He's not like he's been doing that good this year.
No, he hasn't been playing all that good, but it's just the guys behind. Like, he's a body you could just run up the gut 20 times. And it's like, all right, even if you're only getting 2.5 yards every time, like, you're just going to get back up and just keep tiring out the defense. I'm not sure Devin Singletary can do that same job.
Oh, wow. We lost Ezekiel Elliott. Whoop-de-doo.
Sometimes you need to slow down the defense for the faster guys, Spread.
JC, any more overall thoughts before we do best bets?
I was going to answer Clyde's question about Rodgers. I was typing it out, and then I can just answer it.
Answer it. We want to hear it.
Could Aaron Rodgers come back?
I had in my hands for this one.
Yeah, from what I've heard, he could, but like it would be like playoff time, maybe like one of the last weeks. So unless the Jets aren't even in contention, then I'm sure he would come back. But it could be, it could be. No, I'm not even going to say that. I would say it could be like the 1972 Dolphins, but that'd be so insulting to the Dolphins to compare them to the Jets. The 72 Dolphins, they had Bob Greasy went down like week 2 or 3, and they had Woodstock run the regular season, I believe it was.
Wow, this is good knowledge. I don't even know this.
Yeah, and then Greasy came back in the playoffs and finished, which is crazy to have. You got your team's undefeated, and you're still going to drop in your starting quarter like Bob Greasy, but he was able to finish off the job in the playoffs.
Good knowledge, JC. Good knowledge.
Thank you.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, is the fact that he's feuding with your favorite artist boyfriend, does that drop him in your quarterback rankings?
No, not at all. It's the funniest thing because it's such a one-way feud. Like Travis Kelce very obviously just took a paycheck from Pfizer. Like that's all. I'm sure all it was. I don't think he really gives a crap if you get the vaccine or not. And just because he took that paycheck, the man who's getting paid by Johnson & Johnson is giving him crap for it. It's just comedy.
All right. So it doesn't affect your view of him?
No.
You're betting against? Unbelievable. Yeah. Not much of a Swiftie, are you? All right.
I like money more than I like Taylor Swift.
More rabid.
And despite buying her
doing
tickets
it.
would suggest otherwise, but it's the truth.
Pardon?
I said I like money more than I like Taylor Swift, but buying her tickets would kind of make you think otherwise.
Yeah, I know. It's right about even. All right. Best bet for the weekend. What do you think the best bet is, Tyler?
Yeah, looking at this, I mean,
don't steal my Raiders pick. Do not steal that one.
Yeah, if we're gonna give a side, I should have threw a curveball. I should have took the Raiders. That would have been hilarious. I think it's honestly that night game. I think it's the Bengals. I think the Bengals. Actually, no, I take that back. Just give me the Eagles. Eagles, easiest bet on the board. They're gonna smash Dallas. I don't care about the Hurts injury. Deron Blank can play good against bad quarterbacks and bad offensive lines. Good luck getting to Jalen Hurts. AJ Brown's going to tear him up in the secondary. Devontae Smith scores a touchdown. Eagles win by 10.
Dallas Goedert hopefully has a big game as well. JC, best bet for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, probably I'm gonna have to take the Colts as my best bet.
Thank God,
I know
you
I'm
left me the easiest one.
Yep. And I know my saying is straight money wins money, but if you gotta play the parlay plus 270 on a Travis Kelce TD and Miami to win, it's a pretty good look as well.
Oh man, you should get your favorite team and your favorite boyfriend in there on the same.
That's true. I didn't really even think about it like that, but yeah, it's true. We'll call it. Yeah, right. That is for sure the JC parlay.
So normally, Tyler, the NFL is a tough sport to bet on, but this week they've made it so easy. The Las Vegas Raiders getting a new Super Bowl winning coach from Compton, grew up a Raiders fan, listens to NW. It's so easy. Raiders minus 1.5. All right, JC. Words
you want
of
to know something funny? A couple of weeks ago, my wife asked me what NWA stood for.
Did you tell her National Wrestling Alliance?
Yeah, that's what I told her.
That's the appropriate answer there.
It is.
All right, JC. Words of wisdom before we sign off.
Yeah, for those Nuke the House fans that have been riding with us, I've had a tough go of this NHL season. It's been a very ugly opening. But through all of this, I just kept in mind the words of Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. That's what I did. We wrote out that I had the spread and the over-under in the Monday night game. I had it in the Thursday night game because I was in hell, but I just kept going. So lock in these bets because I see the pearly gates.